Are we on now? Welcome back to Dunlap. Sorry for the technical difficulties. The Wi-Fi here is pretty weak. We got about 8 minutes till kickoff, so we got a little bit of time. I'm not sure where the broadcast went out, but we're back now, so we'll just kind of pick up where we left off. Let's go to the starting lineups for the offensive starter. Because of the trouble with the starting lineups, we're just going to skip those, and we'll just come back to some of the keys to the game tonight from Metamora. And I'm not sure if we got much of the Nick Dolinsky show, but for Metamora, we're going to have to be able to run the football tonight, control the clock, control the line of scrimmage. Peyton Hartnett has been kind of the mainstay for Metamora. So as long as we can keep him moving forward and keep the Redbird with the line, or keep the football and control the line of scrimmage, Metamora should be fine. Defensively, we have to stop the big play. Dunlap is very good at giving you first down, second down, and then third down. They throw something really big, and Madden Burke will hit Graham Glover for a 65, 70-yard touchdown play. And that's been kind of the MO for Dunlap football this year, and they've been very good at that. So for Metamora to win this game, I think we're going to have to continue to like I said, control the line of scrimmage. Defensively, Metamora has to, like I said, prevent those big chunk plays. The other thing I think Metamora is going to have to do and be very good at is not give up anything on special teams. I'm joined here by Matt Nelson. Matt, this has always been historically a little bit of a tough place for Metamora to come and play.
Oh, yeah, it has. I remember my sophomore year, we had Josh Robinette here versus Jacob Mitchell. I think Dunlap came back from a 3-score game. My senior year,
went overtime.
Yeah. My senior year, they had Benioff, Miamin, Mangieri, all went on to play Division I, successful ball players, had the Mitchell twins. So it's always a real interesting game against Dunlap.
Yeah, it's been very, very competitive. Like I talked to Coach Dolinsky about it. One of the big things is whoever who's given the opportunities in the game, whoever capitalizes the most on those opportunities always wins the football game. And if you're presented with something, if they fumble the ball on their own 20-yard line, you've got to make them pay.
You use the word capitalization. I love that.
Yeah, it has to be, and Metamora, they're a good football team and a good football program, And Metamora can do this. This is nothing that these kids haven't done in the past. They just have to do it a little bit more consistently.
Absolutely, and like you said, I think Hartnett offensively for Metamora is kind of a deciding factor each game. When the kid goes for 250 yards, not a whole lot you can do, but if you eliminate the main point of the offense, it becomes a problem for Metamora. So really up to the kid just being a leader like he was a couple weeks span there, just performing really.
And the other thing I think, we saw it happen the last couple of games, and the coaches say that Cam Davis is really starting to come on. He got his first touchdowns of the year against Limestone, and as long as you can keep that's big for a kid who's worked as hard as Cam Davis has worked. To come out and finally get that touch. It's just amazing to me that, he didn't get a touchdown. Now, he's been splitting time with Mark Fredericks, but still, it just, unfortunately, and some of the coaches didn't even realize he hadn't even scored a touchdown yet.
Cam Davis has certain times I watch him, and the kid will hit the hole just so explosively. So I think that's going to be a big factor in tonight's game as well. Is Cam Davis just doing his thing and running hard nosed?
Yeah, and that's what Metamora. I love to see Metamora they don't even stop at the fence. They just run onto the field. There's about 2.5 minutes before kickoff, and that's what I like most about this team. They seem to get up for games.
Led out by Big Wallace. He is a big body.
Oh, he certainly is. I because of the problems we're having with the Wi-Fi, I'm not real sure how we're going to be able to do with the score. We're going to try it as best we can. We may have to just give you the score verbally because we don't want to lose this Wi-Fi. Man, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
What makes a good football program? You see football programs all over the state. Metamora had it with Pat Ryan, and I think Jared Redbird is going to be just fine down the road, but he's got to establish himself. And this is only his third year at the helm of the Metamora Redbirds. So, you've got, Metamora, you got Derek Leonard down at Rochester. You've got, Ken Leonard over at Springfield Griffin. You've got a number of these great programs. What sets them? What makes them so successful?
Consistency and accountability. So it really comes down to the off season. That's when you see, who's going to be successful during the season and who's putting in the work in the off season. My senior year, we were real dialed in for the season because in the off season, captain's practices, we had a lot of our team there. Off season lifting, we had our guys there. So the guys who were putting time in the off season, they normally succeed during the season. Accountability, holding the kids accountable, making sure they're doing what they're supposed to do, and making sure they're getting that work. And, you can't just show up on Friday nights, play the game, and expect to win consistent games. You have to be consistent constantly in order to be consistent during game day.
I agree with that 100%. We got Ryan Vogel down on the sidelines. Ryan, we're just about a 40 seconds away from kickoff. This is an exciting time of the game, isn't it?
Yeah, it always is, and there's something about getting booed by the opposing student section that just kind of fires you up. But I mean, this group, this bunch down here is amped, and I'm sure they want to make up for last week. I mean, that's devastating to lose a game, but yeah, this sideline, it has a ton of energy right now.
And we were talking about what makes good football programs. The one thing from a coach's standpoint that I've always thought that set all those good coaches aside was the attention to detail. You hear stories about guys, 20 years ago from Metamora or 10 years ago from Rochester talk about how their coaches, they had to run a play over and over again because they missed their hole by an inch. They miss it by an inch. And, that's the attention to detail so that when you get in the game, everything is perfect.
Couldn't agree more, Scott. Like, for example, if you got a screen pass off the edge and that receiver stalk blocks the DB for, 4 seconds rather than 3, that might be the factor that gives the receiver the ability to get to the outside and break away down the field.
That's something I always remember Coach Pat Ryan saying is attention to detail, and we just run stuff over and over again. But this is when that comes into play. It's not week one when you're trying to figure things out. It's when you're in the playoffs and you're evenly matched with the team, two very well seasoned teams. That's when the attention to detail, because whoever slips up first is going to get bit.
Dunlap gets ready to kick off to start this game. Big game. You know, like we said in the pregame, I'm not sure how much of it was picked up before we dropped our coverage, but this is a big game for Metamora. It's a home and away difference by going 6-3 rather than 5-4. And for Dunlap, they got to go 6-3 because at 5-4 they may not get in.
So hopefully both teams are motivated to play tonight. We'll have a good game here.
Oh, it's going to be a slobber knocker. That'll go out of bounds, and the Redbirds will get it at the 35-yard line.
Hey, Scott, you look good, by the way, tonight, brother.
Oh, you know, you do what you can. Right, Ryan?
Yeah, you always do. You always do.
You guys. Well, the Redbirds will come out 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Come out with Caden Hartnett. And it looks like it's Cam Davis once again in the backfield for the Redbirds. Nate Bartman. I can't see. Oh, that's Cedric Schafferin on this side. Oh, it's a keeper by Hartnett. That's a great save. See how many yards he ends up getting. It's a 8 or 2 yards of being a 2nd and 8 for the Redbirds. Well, that's the freshman. That was Jadon Cranford on the carry. He's up a 3rd and about 8.
Hey, at the least there, I like seeing the freshman take a hit and get up quick. Builds a little character.
Yeah, you know, in the JV games, he's been phenomenal this year. Just unbelievable. He stays. I believe he stayed in the ball game. He's got some room. Oh, that's a block in the back. That'll be a block in the back. Pretty close.
Great footwork in the pocket.
It almost looked like he was throwing the flag for the block in the back.
Oh, and that'll be a. Is that a 1st down? Yes, it is.
Hartnett pulling a little Jalen Hurts action out of his bag there.
Yeah, 1st and 10 for the Redbirds. How do you like that down marker that they've got? It's lit up. It's not like ours where you got the lever. I'm jealous.
Oh man, that's fancy.
The Redbirds get into Dunlap territory down to the 40 to the 46-yard line. Oh, I believe they called a timeout, didn't they? Yeah, Simmons was wide open. Nobody covered Simmons on this near side.
That goes back to capitalization you were talking about.
Yep. Now the question is, did our players notice that? That's tough. That's a tough ask for a high school kid, especially one that's not really we're a running team.
This new turf down here looking very nice. New turf, scoreboard looks good. Everything looks good. Really good facilities Dunlap always has.
Except the press box. This might be the worst press box we've ever been in.
Hey, that's for intimidation. It's like having the visiting locker room in college football.
Like the visiting locker room at Pekin.
So it'll be 1st and 10 Redbirds at the Dunlap 47-yard line. And it looks like he picked up about 2 yards. Yeah, just about a yard. That'll bring us 2nd and 9 for Metamora from the Dunlap 44-yard or 46-yard line, excuse me. So it'll be Bartman and is that Shuda on this side? No, that's who is that on this near side? I can't see his number.
Be nice if I could see it too.
It's Noah Simmons.
And that was just a hair away from being another first down there for Hartnett. He's running the ball very well.
Gave him a solid stiff arm. The kid held on to his legs when he went down.
Brings up a 3rd and 7 for the Redbird offense inside the Dunlap 45-yard line. We in 4-down territory. Oh, that's a great run. That's
Cam Davis.
Cam Davis. Oh, beautiful run by Cam Davis. And he carried some guys with him. He finished off that run.
I think the whole sideline held their breath for a second. He got a little wide with the ball there, and they were punching. But I think they got a little too focused on trying to get a fumble rather than tackling because he just carried about 4 of them down the field.
Down to the 22-yard line of Dunlap. Redbirds 1st and 10 here in the early going. Yeah, Dunlap will take another timeout.
Yeah, that's it.
Hartnett got down to, the 20-yard line?
Yep, they got him at the 20. Wallace with a nice little finish to the block there, I see.
It'll be a 2nd and 8. Anybody that's listening to this, tomorrow the Redbird sophomore JV team will be playing Dunlap at 10 o'clock. If you haven't seen them play, come out and watch them. They're exciting to watch. Going to be down to about the 17-yard line.
Down in the red zone, I think you got to punt the score in here, first drive of the game.
So where is he? Is he 3rd down and 5? Nice, sustained drive by the Redbirds so far.
Nice cut.
Nice cut. Touchdown, Metamora.
Not too much rust here. Good to see the Redbirds score on the first drive.
That was awfully nice by the Redbirds. So it looks like they'll go for 2. Do they have it? Yeah, it looks like they'll go for 2. In for 2.
Love seeing that, the first possession.
Hartnett. Nice job by the Redbirds.
Great job. Dunlap burns 2 timeouts, and we get the 2-point conversion. I don't think it could start much better than that. And just as I was thinking this morning, it's kind of odd to have that, like, bye week, I guess you could say, with our off week against East Peoria, but that might have helped us with a few injuries, few banged up guys. That week might have been nice, and it was pretty rainy last week anyway.
Yeah, it was kind of nasty weather. We didn't have to worry about going out, but seniors would have gotten to play a home game. Good thing we had senior night first week of the season, because they would have not gotten their traditional senior night had we not done it early in the season. But we did, and it's feel bad that the seniors didn't get one more chance to play at Malone Field.
Metamora brings out their kicker, 6'4", 250, the secret weapon.
Tommy Sopko. 250, that's 2 Tommy Sopkos.
Reminds me a little bit of you back in the day, Vogel.
Yeah, that was me about a year ago.
How tall were you? What was your weight when you were a freshman?
When I was a freshman, I came in at about 5 foot 4'11". I was about probably 120, 130-ish.
But just ripped.
Oh yeah, but ripped.
Yeah.
0% body fat.
Great job by the wideout holding on to it. That was a phenomenal hit.
Second and 2. A lot of good things in it. Nice pass, nice catch, nice tackle.
Oh, as a defensive guy myself, downhill hits are my favorite thing to see.
Yeah, there was a fumble, but Dunlap did recover it. They'll lose about 3 yards. That brings up a 3rd and about 5.
Great pursuit by the backside. Vogel, did you see who caused that fumble?
I couldn't quite see it because it was bunched up, but it looked like he was really close. But it was a great strip and almost a recovery.
He came downhill extremely fast. Love to see that.
We say 3rd and 5, but it's actually about 3rd and 4. He did pick up about 3 yards. That'll bring up a 4th and 1.
At about the 50, I'd say they'd probably go for it.
Looks like we might have had a little friendly fire on there. Someone came flying in for a hit, and there was a loud hit, so I think we might have had a little bit of friendly fire there.
4th and 1 for the Redbird. Deep pick down from Metamora. They did bring on their punt unit. I'd be careful. Fake punt. Don't let them get a fake punt.
Teams have gotten us on it this year.
And don't jump. There it was. There was the flag. Good job by the Redbird defensive line. Did not fall for that. Oh, they called a timeout first. But still, I think that's great discipline on Metamora. And I love this gamesmanship here.
Absolutely. I thought I saw the back take a couple steps forward before the timeout was called.
Well, I don't know when they called that. So wait a second. Are they out of timeouts now? Are they out of timeouts?
That would be their third of this.
That's their third.
Pass.
That's their third timeout. So
they got one left. Or no, they should have none left now.
Oh yeah, the other one was the equipment thing, so that wasn't a timeout. So they still have one left. So wow, here we are, 4:26 to go in the first quarter, and they've only got one more timeout. Of course, it's only the first half.
Looks like we might have another equipment issue here.
Are they saying that his pants didn't cover his knees? Is that what that is? Is that what they're calling there?
I have no idea.
I don't think so because he didn't adjust anything.
But he's over there looking. He's pulling his pants down over there now. He didn't get it. What a job by the Redbird defense.
God, that's my favorite thing to see in football right there. A hard spill.
I couldn't see who stopped him in the middle, but whoever it was a brick wall.
It looks like they're going to give him the first down here.
That's a generous spot. That is a very generous spot.
Down here, coach is very unhappy with the call. Coach Grebner having a conversation with the ref, but Hall coach is very unhappy with that.
Wow.
A lot of unhappy fans up here too, Vogel.
Calling a hold on Dunlap. And that's a spot foul in high school. We'll see where that happened. Block in the back is what it is, actually. So that makes it first and nice job.
I think that's Cassip on the play.
I mean, we got 2 weeks worth of energy built up on this sideline. This has given me chills almost every play. And despite the little setback we had there with their first down, I mean, the energy down here is just unbelievable.
That's Judah right there. Great play.
Dalton Shooter with a huge play. Makes it a third and about, well, I'm not sure what is.
About 20.
And that play was sniffed out by a mile. And that just goes to show you what they were doing this week. They watched plenty of film. They knew exactly what was coming.
Big down for the Redbird defense here. Big down. Incomplete pass. That brings up a fourth down.
I'd say that's about as good as of a throw he could have given up.
That was a beautiful ball.
That was a beautiful throw.
What a job by the Redbird defense. A little over 2 minutes to go here in this first quarter. So far, so good.
Absolutely.
A roll dead at about the 19-yard line. Be Redbird football. Okay, guys. A lot of adrenaline, a lot of great plays by Metamora. This is going to be hard to sustain for 4 quarters, though, won't it? Or does it build on itself?
I think football is all a game of momentum, so if they can maintain this, for
in emotion,
a couple more drives, I think it can sustain all game. But, also it comes down to Dunlap making adjustments at halftime, adjustments from drive to drive. Football is a game of momentum, so it can change at any moment with 1 or 2 key plays.
Nice first down run for Cam Davis.
Little score update for you. We got 0-0 over at Morton versus Washington. 8 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Ooh,
interesting.
Interesting for sure. 8-0 here. Redbirds on top. As we wind down the first quarter. Nolan Simmons with a nice play. Was that ball tipped?
I don't know if it was tipped until maybe the corner got a hand on it, but it was low to his outside hip. Honestly, a place only he could touch it. So I'd say it was a pretty good ball, good delivery, great catch.
We have to keep this momentum going because Dunlap has got confidence in coming back. They were down 21-0 early in the third quarter last week and came back and won in overtime.
Oh, they always have confidence playing us, Scott.
We got to change that.
Absolutely. Job by Wallace in 77, plotting downfield. I know Coach Otto's happy to see that.
Looks like we're going to have to probably run one more here.
Incomplete pass. 3rd and 8. I like that play, though. I like that play. Those slant patterns, I think, are there. We just have to, as we wind down this. Oh, no, we'll have to run one more play. That was an incomplete pass. .4 seconds to go. First quarter, Redbirds up 8-0. Is that to Dalton Shuda?
49. I love that, put the shoulder down there to finish the play.
Yeah, that was Peyton Morrison there on the catch.
Boy, that's a nice play. And then he finished it nicely, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. So we can't get the second quarter to pop up. So we just have to keep reminding everyone that this is the second quarter.
Well, they almost finally got me there. The referee came up to me and asked if I was a coach because I was out of the box there. But a good thing I didn't draw us a flag there.
You do look like a young Bill Belichick down there.
Went 8 weeks without bothering anyone. They finally got me in week 9.
See?
I think that was a great way to finish the first quarter and go into the second. I'm hoping that momentum will carry. Kid runs him over, has high energy at the end of the play.
First and 10 Redbirds from the 20-yard line. And he gets down to about that'll be a gain of about 2 yards for Cam Davis. And that makes it a 2nd and 8 for the Redbirds. But Bartman, Shaffron, and Simmons is the wideouts for the Redbirds. Cam Davis in the backfield with Hayden Hartnett. He'll keep it. He'll get some room, and he's got some. Oh, he'll inside the 15-yard line, right on the 15-yard line. First and 10, I believe, Redbirds.
Guys, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but it just feels like things are clicking better than they usually are. I think last week they got time to kind of settle down and look around at things and get some odds and ends figured out, but everything just seems to be running smoothly. And hopefully I don't regret saying that. I'm a knock on wood, but it looks really good right now.
Hey, well, I got wood up here to knock on for you.
He'll get back to maybe a yard gain on that play. And pick up about 1 yard on that play. Makes it a 2nd and 9 inside the 15 at the 14-yard line for the Redbirds. Redbirds up 8-0 here in this early going. But here's one of those situations where you put yourself in a position, now you have to capitalize. You've got Dunlap reeling a little bit.
The way I look at it, Scott, whenever you're within the 20-yard line, you got to score.
Oh, yes, you're in the red zone. You got to score.
That's what I like seeing by Cam Davis right there.
It's not a first down, but it's going to be 3rd and short. 3rd and about 2. Here in this second quarter. Now the scoreboard on our broadcast says first down, but again, we can't change that for whatever reason right now. I'm going to blame Colton Kaler. Right, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm shooting him a text. This is all his fault.
Oh, what a hole!
Cam Davis again.
Davis with a big score there.
Yeah, Scott, kind of weird. No Colton this week, and we're firing on all cylinders.
Well, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties, but
yeah, true. He's a great guy to have on your squad up in the press box.
We'll see what they do here on this extra point as they line up for 2. Oh, he didn't get in.
I bet if Scott was lead blocking out there, he would have got in.
So it's 14-0 here in this second quarter. 9:16 to go. Got to keep it up. Can't let the foot off the pedal. We had a great series of downs defensively. You got to come back and do it again.
Absolutely. Scott, when did Dunlap bust these jerseys out?
I think they've worn them before. I do think they're pretty sharp. They've got the flag on the sleeve up there. I actually think they're better jerseys than what they were normally because those numbers that they wear on their home and away are very difficult to read.
Blend in with the jersey.
Yeah. That Ryan Morgan into kick.
Yeah, it is, and he's looked pretty good on extra points too. That's a little weapon to have.
Pretty good return. And are they going to get us for a face mask? Yep. That'll be a 15-yard variety. That'll put ball into Metamora territory. That's a great field position for Dunlap right at the Redbirds' 45-yard line.
And I think the coach's frustration there is we just kind of kicked it to the wrong guy, and that's a speech that I had to hear a few times from Coach Pat Ryan. Don't kick it to that guy. Oh, here you go.
Well, you just wanted to see how good he was.
Big chance for Metamora defense to make a statement here.
Pickup of 1 yard. That'd be a 2nd and 9 for Dunlap. You know, they recovered pretty well on that play. I thought that was a pretty nice play. Metamora, I thought, defensed that pretty well.
Dunlap, year after year, never afraid to throw the football.
Brings up a 3rd and 4 for Dunlap. They're in 4-down territory.
Now, speaking of Dunlap always throwing the football, Madden Burke, the quarterback, his older brother, Miles, great quarterback in high school, and my current roommate.
Oh, you got a little bit of great play. Who made that tackle? I can't see it.
18.
Is that Nick Rhodes?
18?
Oh, 18. No, that was
Nick
Vespa. Nick Vespa.
That could be 10 too. That could be 10.
I think it was Vespa.
It's tough. It's tough to tell when those zeros and eights scrunch up.
God, that's a great hit. 4th down.
Metamora takes a timeout. So, Ryan, your senior, you came over here. Now, the year before, they kind of put a thumping on us. But you came over here your senior year, and you returned the favor. I believe it was 28-7 at halftime.
It was 28-0 at halftime, I believe.
I thought they scored on their first possession, and then you guys shut them down.
I think it was 28-0 at half, and then they made a nice little comeback at the end, and made it kind of close. But yeah, that was we needed some payback for the year before.
Scored the final score, 2018. Was 35-14.
Yeah, Vogel, I was going through some scores the other day with my my brother when he was home. You guys put up a load of points.
Yeah, that's what you get when you got Tommy Hall at QB.
And every receiver is about 6'4".
Well, that's for sure. That was kind of nice to look out there and see that no matter who the other team put out there, you had the height advantage and the length advantage.
Oh, yeah.
So Dunlap will punt. Man, he looks like he's way back there, doesn't it? And that'll go out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Great field position for Metamora.
Yeah, I just got confirmation from Scott Vogel. 28-0 at half it was.
Was it?
Yeah, but I mean that was a great team. Like I said, they had Miles Burke and he's the older brother of Matt and Dunlap's quarterback right now, and they had Josiah Miam and a bunch of other good athletes. And it's kind of funny because I would grow up around those guys with my dad teaching and coaching in Dunlap. So it was a nice little revenge game. We definitely owed him one.
They had about a 6'5" receiver too, Pogue. He's playing Division I baseball, right?
Yeah, he was also a great receiver.
Nice jump cut by Cam Davis. He only got a couple yards, but I thought that was a nice play there. Got to apologize, too. We're having trouble being able to run any of our advertisements in this right now for whatever reason.
We could probably remember most of them.
Oh, absolutely.
McDonald's, great breakfast.
Oh, yeah. Food ones, anyway. Oh, they got to Caden Hartnett on that play. Makes it a 3rd and about 14. We'll take 13. We close in on 5 minutes to go here in this first half. Redbirds up 14-0. Metamora will take a timeout. Their play clock was down to about 4 seconds, so good timeout by the Redbird coaches.
Yeah, I think the key for us right now is we just got to get to halftime without letting them score. I think even if we don't score on this drive and punt it away and hold them and get to the locker room 14-0, I think that would be huge.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a huge momentum factor. I think that's big for the Metamora morale, and I think, it puts a little bit of doubt in Dunlap because they got to think, okay, we were down 21-0 last week, but it rained and we weren't able to throw the football. This week, it hasn't been raining. They've been throwing the football, but we've been holding them for nothing. And their quarterback hasn't had a lot of room. I think we've played a darn near perfect defensive first half.
Absolutely.
I didn't see what happened there.
Little double handoff to 49.
And my senior year, we had Alec Marunk taking the double handoff.
Oh, yeah.
And I just want to add on that last defensive stop, that big hit was number 10. That is 10, I believe.
Ah, well, I won't doubt you again then,
Or
Bogey.
could be 18.
So that was
I'm on the field and I can't read the numbers, I guess.
It brings up a 4th and 9 for the Redbirds. Nice snap.
Great punt.
What a punt.
That would have stayed inbounds with that roll.
That's the direction you want to be punting right now. The wind is blowing pretty heavily towards the scoreboard.
So Dunlap will take over on their own 29-yard line. 1st and 10 Eagles. 4:35 to go here in this first half. Got to keep. What we haven't had this year? We haven't had the defense score yet. Wouldn't this be a great time for a pick six or a scoop?
I don't know if there's a bad time for it.
God, I was so excited. Pontiac, my senior, had 1 pick 6.
Yeah.
Back.
All back.
File. Late hit. Got to go low. And let me tell you, Scott, I was kind of a beefy creature back then. So once I
Yeah.
hit about 40 yards running, I was a little winded.
Brings up a second and about 4 for Dunlap.
I think the last thing we want is to allow a Dunlap score and give them momentum going into halftime.
Because they'll get the ball to start the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great job by the Redbird defense again.
Crucial down.
Something that I've noticed week by week improving, and especially tonight, is our open field tackling.
And we're doing a much better job of contained. He couldn't get outside. He leaned forward for a yard, but much better job of keeping contained.
Yeah, and it'd be great to see this week. No big plays. It kind of seems even in those games where we really broke away from the other team, they always kind of had a big play thrown in there.
That rush caused him to throw that ball high, didn't it?
Yes. Bogey, just to confirm with you, it is 18.
Oh, it is 18. Yeah, it's just when those zeros and those 8s scrunch up a little bit. I do love our jerseys. I love the all white look tonight. It's always one of my favorite looks.
Metamora have to take him out, time out, because we had 13 players on the field. I think Dunlap's been saying we had 13 on the field all night, though, at least defensively. But yeah, I think that was Nick Vespa that made that big play series ago. I'll tell you what, we've had the chance to scheme everything that they've thrown at us so far. So far, we've done an excellent job of responding to everything that they've thrown at us.
Absolutely.
And that just goes to show you what they've been doing in practice all week, and a good job. And that's probably because in that editorial week, they probably start practicing a little bit early, watch a little bit more film. So essentially, we've had 4 or 5 more days to prepare for this game.
Probably because we found out on the Monday night prior to East Peoria. So from Tuesday on, we were getting ready for Dunlap. If I got sick of hearing about Dunlap. So it brings up a 4th and 3. You got to be disciplined up front. You got to be disciplined. You got to set up a punt return. We got 2. I like this. 2 guys back to return the kick.
And watch for the wind factor here.
Oh, that's going to be good field position. It's a 36. Oh, they're going to say 35. So the Redbirds will come out for their 4th possession of the game. It'd be nice to put together a nice little drive with 2:42 to go here in this first half. Maybe go in
3 scores up at halftime.
Whatever the case may be. You know,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think, you got Dalton Shoot a split out wide here. I just think that he is a tough matchup for a defensive back. Nice run by Cam Davis.
And just to go back to that first play where we had Cranford in there, do you think that was kind of throw Dunlap for a loop a little bit?
Yeah, maybe. It's just to see what he can do. He's been so effective at the sophomore JV level. I mean, he at times has just been dominant. Just to see if you catch lightning in a bottle, and because he is so fast, and he'll give you the leg and pull it and take off down the sideline, and nobody can catch him. Go, Payne. Oh, and they'll bring it down. What a nice play by the Redbirds.
And great outside blocks by the receivers. That was sealed perfectly.
First and goal from the 7 with 1:36 to go here in this first half.
Cam
Davis, Metamora.
I think punch to scoring in a minute and 16 seconds is a little demoralizing to Dunlap going into halftime.
I think Metamora. You think they'll go for 2 here?
Oh yeah.
I like points. I think Metamora took a timeout. So it's Nick Rhodes in at quarterback.
So this right here, I'd say it's going to be the most crucial possession of the game right here. This could either swing it completely, and Dunlap could go into the locker room with 7, 6, 7, 8 points on the board, or they can go in with a goose egg. And this is going to be huge for Metamora.
You know, Pat Ryan used to tell me, not a lot, but he used to tell me that in a close game, the most crucial time is the 4 minutes, the last 4 minutes of the first half, and the first 4 minutes of the second half. Those 8 minutes tell a lot about who's going to win a football game. That is a great kick.
6'4", 250 will help you do that.
Actually, that was, I believe, Ryan Morgan, though.
No, that was Stopco.
That was it, Tommy?
Yeah.
Tommy's turned into a kind of a town legend, hasn't he? Him and Van Meegum.
Well, he just does his job every time. Like I don't. There's not many times I think back to season. I'm like, oh, that wasn't a very good kick. I mean, he's constantly hitting the spot they ask him to, and out of a freshman, that's about all you can ask for.
And he's getting better at it. He's been able to kick early in the year. He couldn't kick very deep, and he's getting a lot better at it.
And from experience, it's hard to get the ball up in the air and pooch like that. It's just not easy.
Developing into a young Robbie Gould out there. Great play.
Is that Drew Hansen in on the tackle there? I think that was Drew Hansen, wasn't it?
Now, this is starting to get to that point. You're going to see those DBs and safeties probably scoot back a little bit just in case, as you see like Hartnett there, kind of playing center field.
A lot of white to the ball.
Love a lot of white.
And this is, as a safety, when I played safety in high school, this was always kind of one of my favorite spots to be where Caden Hartnett is. They just kind of And it's intimidating when you have an athlete like him who can run and he's long and he can high point balls.
Yeah.
If you throw it anywhere in the air, he's going to get under it. So it's just intimidating to have him in there, and that's a great end to the half for the Redbirds.
As the Redbirds will take a 20-0 lead into the halftime locker room. Guys, this is about as good as you can expect from the Redbirds. We'll be back in just a little bit with the halftime stats and the second half.
Central Illinois, you asked for it and we listened. Germantown Grill is growing, adding more dining space and a private gaming area featuring games powered by Gold Rush, the gold standard in video gaming. The game's on at Germantown Grill, off Route 116.
Hold on a second. Well, we weren't able to get the sponsors earlier, but we do now for Zobrist Insurance, the simple human sense. Insurance the right way, the human way. Snyder Village, your place to call home. Metamora Field. Great place to go for a couple rounds. They still have some time to golf. It's going to be beautiful this weekend. McDonald's, Metamora McDonald's. Great breakfast. Love going there on Saturday morning, especially after a big win. Mason Funeral Home. Well, I hope you don't have to go there. Martin Sign. Great place to get signs. They've been a long-time sponsor. Great to have them on board again this year. Logo Wear. Go uptown on the square there, get your Metamora gear for the playoffs. Corey's Grill and Bar, great wings, great place to go after the game. Don't forget that one of the good places to go tomorrow night for the pairing show. Kirby Foods, another really good place and another longtime sponsor of Redbird Replay and digiMAX Sports Network. Thank those people a lot. Goodfield State Bank, here to serve you for all your financial needs. Commerce Bank, proud to support the Metamora High School athletics. Another longtime sponsor. FQ, not a bank, better.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, how's the college visit?
You remembered. It's good.
Does it make the short list?
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Knowing our clients personally is what we do.
It's okay. This is what we've been planning for.
And with over 13,000 financial advisors, we do it a lot. It's why Edward Jones is the big company that doesn't act that way.
For financial strategies and one-on-one advice, contact Kevin Kyle.
Central Illinois, you asked for it and we listened. Germantown Grill is growing to meet customer demand, adding more dining space and a private gaming area featuring games powered by Gold Rush, the gold standard in video gaming. And Germantown Grill still has all the food and spirits that keep our customers coming back. Stop by to check out our daily specials. The game's on at Germantown Grill, where Central Illinois loves to eat. Open 7 days a week, just off Route 116.
Welcome back to Dunlap. We're here with the halftime stats. First, we'll do Dunlap. Dunlap had 9 rushing attempts for a total of 11 yards. Passing, they were 4 for 6 for 7 for a total of 18 yards of offense. Now for Metamora. Metamora had 22 rushing attempts for 169 yards. They had 2 pass completions for 44 yards. For a total of 213 yards of offense and 3 touchdowns. Pretty impressive first half for the Redbirds. Dunlap, though, kind of a second half team, so we're gonna have to buckle down and play just as intense as we did that first half. Metamora, the more physical team for that first 24 minutes. We've got to keep it up, though, because they're going to come out, they're going to make adjustments. Brett Cazalet is one of the best coaches in the conference, and he will make some adjustments, and he will make this a ball game. Metamora is going to have to weather that storm and hope they don't have too big of a run in them. So far, Metamora has been able to answer everything that they've thrown at the Redbirds. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back to Dunlap. Well, Matt, I don't know if you're Coach Jerry Grebner, what do you say at halftime?
I got to tell the kids, great first half, recognize their effort, but at the same time, you got to tell them the effort doesn't stop because the game's not over. A lot can happen in just 6 minutes of football, so if you let up for 6 minutes on a team, they might put up 2-3 scores in that time. I mean, we remember what Tony Dungy did with the Bucks way back in the day.
Well, what Dunlap did last week over in Morton, they were down 21-0 early in the third and came back and tied it and ended up winning it in overtime.
I played on this field with Jacob Mitchell. I was a freshman up on sophomore. They came back from like a 21 or 28-point deficit at halftime. Ended up beating us in OT or double OT. So,
and sophomore head coach Kurt Ryan said it was his fault because they had, I believe, put you in at quarterback. But you didn't know the adjustments they had made. And he goes, and I didn't think to tell him. So half the time you were going in a different direction. The line was blocking.
Yeah, I was just running, man. And my parents will vouch for this. I got concussed so bad that night in that game, I got lost driving home from Metamora High School.
Oh, that's not good.
Well, Josh Robinette, he was about, I think he went out to Oregon State.
Yeah.
Played DN. He was about 6'8", 250.
Then he
sophomore.
Then he transferred to a California school and played his final 2 years, I believe. He played basketball too in high school, and he was
a monster.
Yeah, he was just huge. So question to you is, did the halftime come at the perfect time for Dunlap? Because we went in at halftime on such a high. Is it hard to come back that second half now and keep that same intensity?
I don't think so. When I was a ball player, if we went into the halftime with a lot of momentum and we were confident, we'd come out and we'd be on defense most of the time coming out. And we'd, smack them in the mouth. And when you come out on the first drive of the second half with a lot of intensity, a lot of energy, normally that momentum carries pretty well. But I think they'll be all right.
We're just about a minute away from the start of the second half. And, it's high school sports is a wonderful thing. And
Absolutely.
It teaches you a lot of how to deal with adversity. And for a lot of these kids, this could be it. Now, fortunately for Metamora, and no matter how good you are, that day comes that your football season and your career is over with because you're not going to go on to a college and play. And, for people that say, I'm just going to concentrate on one sport, sometimes I think you're really cheating yourself a little bit at times.
See, Scott, I'll tell you just kind of from experience. Fortunately, I was blessed enough to go on and play at the collegiate level. But in high school, the big difference is, you're playing for the brotherhood, you're playing for the moment, you're playing for the love and joy of the game. Your school's not getting paid for through this. You're not getting paid to come out. You're just coming out grinding voluntarily. When you get to college, it's a lot more individualized. Everyone's playing to go pro, so these kids got to cherish the moment they have.
So as we get ready to start the second half, pretty good run back for Dunlap. They get out to their own 45-yard line. I couldn't see who that was that carried it for Dunlap. And Merriman with the return for Dunlap. Wow. Once again, Drew Hansen again on that tackle. Outstanding job by the Redbird defense.
Scott, I'll be honest with you. The pork chops out here at Dunlap, not as good as the Metamora one.
Brings up a 2nd and 12. Yeah, that's what they did. Great hot dogs, though. Pass is incomplete. Brings up a 3rd and 12 for the Dunlap Eagles. Like I said, it's the last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second half. That goes a long way in determining on who wins the football game.
And on that last play there, a lot of high school quarterbacks struggle to throw on the run. So when you got backside pressure coming and you don't give the quarterback the ability to set their feet, great job by Metamora defense. Oh, boy.
A sideline warning. That's just a sideline warning on Metamora. I'd give Burke a lot of credit there.
Geez, Vogel.
Yeah, luckily that was not on me. That was not on me. I'd be off the sideline in a heartbeat if it was.
Now it's time for our first turnover game. We haven't had a turnover yet tonight.
I'd love to see Hartnett come down and jump one of those routes.
Oh. Almost.
Great way to get the hands up.
Brings up a 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. Nice student section here tonight.
For both teams, really, but Metamora student section's done a great job traveling all year.
Yeah, they have. Oh, and it's dropped. They had him wide open.
Oh, that's going to make 2 or 3 times that's happened where I believe the same receivers kind of had some open field ahead of them or had a first down opportunity and just couldn't come up with it.
And Scott, it goes back to what you said at the beginning of the game about capitalization. You know, Dunlap has dropped about 3 wide open passes this year, or this game.
And fortunately for Metamora, they've made him pay for it.
Yeah, and with throwing this direction, I mean, the wind continues to blow harder in their face. So it might be tough to get the ball in the air here.
Quarterback's placing great balls, though.
Oh, and it goes off the... Wow.
Great play there. Great play to poke it out. He had it coming right in his basket, and he knocked it out. Really good play.
I can't tell who that was.
It's the cursed number. It's 18.
Who is the receiver from Dunlap?
Oh, I don't know if I got that one.
Got to give the QB credit getting out of the pocket and really lofting up a nice ball, too.
Brings up a 4th and 10 for the Eagles. Big down for both teams right now. Oh, yeah.
Is that Cassip?
Yep, that's Tyler Cassip with a big sack for the Redbirds, and that'll turn the ball over on downs, and Metamora will take over.
But like you said, Scott, the first 4 minutes of this half are crucial, and it's looking good for Metamora right now, and they need to capitalize on it, build on the energy.
It's just the momentum. You got to regain it. Metamora had a lot of momentum going into the halftime locker room, and you got to come back and keep it. Gain of 5 on that play.
And our line has their D line right where they want them. That play was about an inch, and really I think Cam Davis kind of fell down on that play. But don't be surprised if they break one here. Those holes are starting to get bigger.
Oh, that's going to set up a 3rd and about 2. That's a great job by the Metamora running back. Was that Cam Davis again?
Yep. You know, even on carries that he's only gaining 2, 3, 4 yards, he always finishes forward.
Yep.
And I like that.
Hayden Hartnett with a nice first down carry, and he'll cross into Dunlap territory. 1st and 10, Redbirds.
No, I've never won 50-50.
Really?
Not once.
There were some big ones back in the day. They used to...
Good collision.
Did they get above 1,000?
Oh, gosh. They were up around 3,000 a couple times in playoff games.
Man.
Oh, yeah. They were so big that you had to bring up... Yeah.
Bring a bag just in case you win, and pay the police to escort you home after.
Yeah, because they paid you like 10. Jeez. I wanted one of the big checks. Okay.
Freshman breaking one.
Freshman. Boy, he gave him a leg and took it back and then went downfield for a, oh, man.
Keep him in. Let him punch it.
And the balance at the end of at the beginning of that play was really, really good. I mean, they were trying to sweep the leg a little bit, but I mean that was really impressive by the freshman.
I know the staff's excited to have him for 3 more years after this.
Brings up a 2nd and goal from about the 4-yard line. Hey, you think we're in 4-down territory?
Yeah.
And he got down to about the 3. Be a 3rd goal down to about, are they on the 3-yard line or they just, yeah, they're just inside the 3.
Back by Cam Davis there.
Yes, it was. Just under 6 minutes of playing time here in this 3rd quarter. We talked. Metamora will go for 2. Hartnett lined up. Nobody else in the backfield. And that'll be. That makes the score 26-0. Metamora.
Kind of seems like a must-score drive for Dunlap here. This is really going to take the wind out of the sails if they can't punch one in here, and the absolute opposite if Metamora can stop them. That's almost getting in the territory where you just got to play defense and get the clock down.
Insurance the right way, the human way. Snyder Village, your place to call home. As we get ready to kick off. Well, that'll give Dunlap some really good field position.
Kind of a riskier play there for a drive like this. I think this is one where you try to get it as deep as possible because this stop would be huge.
I don't know if that was necessarily what they wanted to have happen, but it did. We just got to go out and play some defense now. There we go. Go!
Nate Bartman.
There it is. Got the turnover, brother.
Yeah, we talked. We haven't had one. We needed one. Nate, we haven't had a pick 6 all year. My God, we needed that, didn't we?
Oh, that's a momentum booster for the defense.
You spoke that to existence.
Hey, all I'm going to say is Big Mr. Wallace is too big to be dancing out there.
We've been so close all night. So close all night. Hartnett was close, and I think Bartman's been sitting back getting those reads all night, and he finally got one.
Well, that onside kick helped.
6'4", 250 kicker.
Did 32 zip, but, you know, we just connected on a couple of those. It'd be, what, 36 or 35?
Mm-hmm.
Just to point out that Nate Bartman's been fantastic all year on defense. He's really stepped up, and probably for this, you always need a leader in the DB group, and he's been one all year. He's done a great job this year.
And he worked so hard in the offseason. Him and U-File, they just worked so hard and just hated to see U-File get hurt and miss, you know, the rest of the season and senior season. Oh, great. Good job by the Redbird. That was a great kick. He's inside the 20 down to about the 17-yard line where they'll have 1st and 10. You know, we're this close. Let's get another one and a 2-point conversion. And
83 yards is a long way to go when you're down 32.
And nothing's been working for you.
Bogey, correct me if I'm wrong, but Bartman's older brother was in your class, right?
Yeah.
He was a solid little player, too.
He was a good player, too. He didn't play all 4 years, but when he joined us, he was certainly effective. Good body and really physical and not afraid to stick his nose in there. And he was great to throw out routes, too, and get some yards. But he was a great add to our football team.
Yeah, I remember, I think maybe from his sophomore or junior year, I think it was, he really sprung up, put a lot of muscle on. He was a real nicely built kid.
Yeah, and as Scott was saying, how Nate works so hard in the offseason, and he gets that from his brother. I mean, his brother works his tail off, so. And he's playing baseball at Morehead State now, so.
Good for him. And I know you referenced Luke U-File down there. Now, I was going over to the U-File house when he was, you know, probably 10 years old, so it's cool to see him, you know, all grown and playing now. I had his brother, you know, the Grizzly Bear, Noah U-File on my team, built like a cinder block.
I love seeing the little brothers in there. It's always kind of that moment you hear their name and you're like, really? They're in high school? And it's like, oh wow.
Yeah. Poor Luke, though, he injured his knee. He's out there. He's dressed tonight, but he can't play.
Was it collarbone?
I believe so. Boy, you got a lot of white jerseys over there.
Hearing the little brothers' names up there, though, it makes you feel old. Helps me realize I'm definitely aging.
I think we're getting to the point here where we might start seeing a few desperation heaves in. And I'd watch out for another Nate Bartman pick or maybe a Caden Hartnett. Get someone else in on the mix. I think we're going to see one right here.
3rd and 9 for the Dunlap Eagles. Under 4:23 to go, 3rd quarter. Oh.
Quarterback's got a lot of pressure on him.
Drew Hansen once again.
So is it going to be iffy for Dunlap's playoff picture next week?
Yeah, it's going to be close because they're only going to have about 35 or 36 points. Oh, we got good field position.
Good return.
Who has that?
I think that was Bartman there.
Bartman once again just doing the little things.
Baseball player back there.
Yeah, that's who has to return punts and kicks. They're used to catching things out of the sky. 32-0 Redbirds.
We got the freshman in the game. I'd love to see him bust one out again. I think we see it to him.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I wonder what that Jadon kid squats. Legs look huge.
So they just rattled off some score updates. We got 4 teams scoreless so far. Still, then it's 7-0 Washington Morton.
And Washington's leading.
Canton's one of those teams where I'd really like to see them get in the playoffs here soon. These past couple years, they've been close, and they've had some talent. Last year with Nick Oldfield at quarterback, they always have some good players. Wallace, their running back.
Yep.
And
they will be back. They've got some good numbers, and they have got some good players coming up. They will be. They'll be a contender. Put it this way: you'll have to play good football to be in the future.
And just as a football fan, that's just good to see for Central Illinois football. You don't want those same teams living on the bottom. You want to see those teams like Canton, and they always give you problems, even in their not so great years. They're going to give you some problems. It's not a team you can take lightly, really, ever. And really, they fill up those stands over there in Canton. It's honestly a great place to play for a Canton football player.
So you got both Cam Davis and Jadon Cranford in the backfield for the Redbirds. And I think he's going to get a first. He's going to be close. Nope, it's just short.
Took a nice hit on that play.
The Redbirds will have a 3rd and 1 from about the 19-yard line. Wow. He just finished his way through there and got a first down. First and 10 from the 15. As we close in on 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Just think, he's what, 14 years old?
Yeah, he's a long ways from even driving.
I'm very glad this game's going like this, but I expected a little bit more of a battle tonight.
I did too.
Just gets in there and it's always going forward. Man.
Give it to him off the edge. Would love to see what he does in space.
Oh, it's spectacular, let me tell you. You know, the other southpaw running back is Evan Kyle. And he is fantastic. He is a very, very good running back. Come tomorrow, you'll see him play. Oh.
I'd love to see him go into center one time, throw the freshman a toss. Just let him get to the edge, shake someone up a little bit.
It's at 3rd and 14. Is that
It's like Cassip.
yeah, it was Cassip.
That's pretty wild to see. A young Cassip catching the ball.
4th down and what about 13?
Now, Coach Cassip played a little ball at Western back in the day.
Yeah. And that'll be the end of the 3rd quarter, and we go into the 4th. It's 4th and 10. 4th and 13, excuse me. Take Metamora Fields. Still nice enough to get out and get a few rounds in this weekend, especially.
Every Metamora football player's first job.
Yeah.
And just some insight from the sideline down here.
Hold on a second. Metamora McDonald's. And Mason Funeral Home. Yeah, you don't really want to go up there, but if you do, stop in and say hi to Ross. Martinstein. Give them a call for all your sign needs.
Great times.
As we get ready to start the 4th quarter, 4th and 13 for the Redbirds. Metamora's coming out to try a field goal. Brian Morgan in for the...
You're going to see a little Ryan Bogle action here?
Yep, looks like me.
Blocked, and they'll recover it at about the 35.
He's been pretty good. I don't think he's missed one yet this year.
No.
Extra points, but he's been good, and honestly, that's not too bad of an option.
No, I have no problems with that. So now that's the end of the 3rd quarter. Now we'll start the 4th. As we head into the 4th, 32-0 Redbirds.
And I believe Washington Morton just went final. The finals, Washington 7, Morton 0. So that's going to eliminate Morton from the playoffs.
Boy, they gave it a heck of a run, though, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
7-0. And last week, that's 2 pretty darn good efforts from the Morton squad. Just came up short. You got to feel for them because that's not quitting. That's going out and playing hard because you want to continue your season, and you got to give them some credit for that.
Oh, that's what builds character in young men.
Sure, I mean, wow. So Dunlap will start on their own 36-yard line, 1st and 10. Start this 4th quarter. Redbirds up 32-0. Oh, they had that bottled up in a hurry. Second and 9 for the Dunlap Eagles. Well, guys, we got to start thinking about player of the game. My suggestion is let's give it to the defense. What do you think, Ryan?
Oh, absolutely. A shutout.
And that's just a great confidence booster going into next week, too.
Yeah, it is fantastic.
Yeah, they're looking like our player of the game.
I mean, they're almost in 4-down territory right now. For a 3rd and 6. I mean,
Screen left. It bounced.
Yep, that bounced up a 4th down. 4th and 6 for the Eagles.
Dunlap walking back to the huddle, looking a little sluggish. I think they kind of given up on the game.
Yeah, and that's a tough position to be in right now. And we've been there before too. And boy, that's a tough time of the game. At this point, you kind of hate football.
Never that. Never that.
They were kind of in that control your own destiny phase, but now they're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, you're right. '56. That's Adam Sloan for 2nd year, but he's been playing all year. What an effort by him. And that'll be a 1st and 10 Redbirds. Metamora will take over on the Dunlap 36-yard line. What do they say? There's a large lady getting ready to sing? That there's a large lady getting ready to sing?
Good run, Cam Davis.
That's another really good run, and he'll get down to about the 22-yard line. 1st and 10 Redbirds.
Cam Davis is a real north to south runner, so I love to see him just plot his feet and put his head down.
He's gotten us the tough yards this year without question. He'll get down to the 20.
Got a flag down.
Oh. Holding Metamora. Yep. I'll move us back a little bit. But right now, the clock is on our side, and that's the main thing.
Yep.
That's a spot foul, too, so that'll move us back quite a ways. Make it a 1st and 20.
Good little truck stick by Cam.
Yep. Picked up a couple yards. Getting 18. Oh, man. Woo, I did like the play.
Just had to get that ball a little more over the top to the outside.
There's a flag down. Oh. Is that? pass interference on Dunlap. Is that an automatic first?
I believe so. That's a close call to make, though, to be
Yeah,
honest with you.
and that's right in front of me. That's a really tough call, to be honest with you. It really looked like good defense, but works in our favor.
That makes it a second and about 6. Second and 8.
And Vogel, like you said, I'm a Metamora guy, and that was a very close call to make.
Ooh, I agree with you on that one. I'll take it. But
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'll take it in a game where it's pretty tight, though.
Another flag.
Yeah, that's holding against Metamora. They close in on 8. Well, it's 8:33 to go. This last couple minutes is taking a while to play. It makes it a second. Second and 21. Simmons?
12?
Yep. 12. Wow.
And Scott, we were talking at halftime about just Metamora's aggressiveness, and it's been great. It's like a switch just clicked this week, but it's been fantastic. And just overall, things seem to be running smoother, and that's really, really promising for a playoff run.
Oh, that's for sure.
You see, guys, I noticed everything about a football game, and after every play, one of his teammates makes a good play. Wallace goes over and daps up his guys every time they make a good play. I love that.
He'll go inside 5 down to about the 6. Okay. We've just dominated the time of possession this half.
Yeah,
I mean,
we absolutely have.
I like this under center. Oh, and he's going to score. Touchdown, Metamora.
And Hartnett made it work.
The line did such a good job that he could hand off to no one, foot down the field, wave, and then score a touchdown.
I think I saw him wave at his mom a couple times, too.
Wow.
So if Metamora holds on here, that'll make for 4 shutouts tonight in the middle lineup. I'm not sure I've heard that many times.
No, that's kind of rare.
Very.
Oh, they jumped offside, and there was nothing.
So, Scott, I don't mean to get ahead of myself here. We've still got a little time in the game, but who do you see us maybe being matched up against first round?
Well, say we win this and we go 6-3. It looks like we could play Jacksonville at a home game.
That would be fantastic to kind of repay those seniors that game.
So, Scott, you know just about every single football high school statistic. So, how's Jacksonville looking this year?
Well, they played Central State 8. They're going to go 5-4. They've lost to Rochester. They've lost to Sacred Heart Griffin. They've lost to to Chatham Glenwood, and I believe they lost to Decatur MacArthur.
Okay, so a couple powerhouses in there. I think we all know who Sacred Heart Griffin is.
Yep.
Rochester, we all know them. Chatham Glenwood used to play them back in 7-on-7 about every year. They were always solid. Decatur Eisenhower, I think I've seen them play one time against maybe Washington.
Maybe it was MacArthur. It might have been
MacArthur. MacArthur. I think you did say MacArthur.
So they played against some traditionally really good teams.
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville upset us. I believe it was in 04. They came up to Metamora in the first round game and beat us. And their coach, Mark Brown's really good coach. They also upset, I believe that same year, they upset Joliet Catholic in like the second or third round.
Oh, you don't see that too often.
No. Wow.
And is 33 Briar Cremines?
Yeah.
Yeah, a good hit by him there. Almost had a strip, too.
So it'll be 1st and 10, Dunlap on their own 34-yard line with under 6 minutes to go, just under 6 minutes to go.
You know, I am happy being this up in the game to see Hartnett out of the game.
They got plenty of time. I don't want to call it garbage time because they threw in a few wrinkles there. Got to work on a few plays. It's always important to mix that in at the end of the game if you can and to get some in-game experience. But at the same time, they're not going to show too much before next week.
Bring up a 3rd and 6. Boy, it's great you can pull those kids off. Just under 5 minutes to go in the ball game, and Metamora will go to 6-3. This is a huge win for the Metamora football program.
Absolutely.
And we were talking earlier about what makes good football programs, and the guys who are out on the field right now, that's what makes good football programs. You're getting your second string, third string guys, and maybe first string guys at different positions, and they're getting 5 to 6 minutes of in-game experience.
Oh yeah,
you cannot replicate that in practice.
No.
And these are the guys busting their tail against the starters to make sure they can perform when they come out on the field. Nice punt. Even spiraled.
Right at the 10-yard line. So Metamora will take over on their own 10 and, providing, we've done this before. We did this against Morton. got the ball back with 7:58 to go in that ball game, and we ran the clock out. Our best drive of the game, and we didn't even score. So today, if there's just under 4 minutes to go, let's just run the clock out.
I agree.
Go home with a well-deserved win. Three at the. I can't see who the ball carrier was. Who was the ball carrier there? Cody Harrison, the ball carrier. You know, he's done a really nice job in the games that he's gotten into. Boy, he's done just a really. Coach Grebner talks about how, you know, he just worked his butt off, and it's so rewarding when he's able to get in and get some carries.
Well, he's so fired up when he comes in the game, too. You can tell he just appreciates it.
Ooh, man, that turf monster got him there, but that was just about ready to break it.
And he had a great week at Limestone
Yes.
a couple weeks ago. And I believe at the end of the Pekin game, he also had some good physical runs, too. So it's always promising and mostly rewarding to see those guys get in there.
Big down here to get a first down here, and I probably need one more first down after this.
And some change.
Yeah. I'll bring up a fourth down. Oh, they've recovered it.
Like you said earlier, though, Ryan, not entirely the game I was expecting coming over here tonight.
Yeah, not at all. I was expecting for a little bit of a barn burner. And I never thought I'd say it's a 38-0 with 2:22 left to go in the game, but we need to stop here.
Yeah. So the guy they were missing was coach's son. Oh, Nelly. We got to thank our sponsors, Logo Wear, 367-2333 on the square in Metamora. Corey's Grill and Bar. Great place to go get some wings, watch the pairing show tomorrow night.
Skillet cookie.
Oh, outstanding. Kirby Foods in Metamora, outstanding. I love the Redbird burger that they make. Outstanding.
I go get fresh beef there
Yeah.
every third night, man. Ribeyes, New Yorks,
Oh, yeah.
all that good stuff.
Get ready. Back to action here. 2:22 to go in the ball game. Redbird's up 38-0. And another.
I think they're going to get him on a horse collar there.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Good aggressive play, though.
They're going to face mask. Face mask. Just a 5-yard variety. That'll make it 2nd and 5. No, 1st and 5. Excuse me. Where did they put the ball? Is that 5 yards from the end of the run? Okay. Oh, that'll make it 2nd down. Not really sure what happened on that play. 2nd and 12, 2nd and 11. Closing in on 2 minutes to go in the ball game.
Great hit.
Marshall, no, who is it? Number
Looks
3.
like 3.
3? That's Gavin O'Loughlin. Ooh, he came up and
I could hear that up here. Good play.
and he got back to the line of scrimmage, and then that was it. Wow. Superintendent's son kind of came with full load there.
Ah.
And there goes the shutout, but I'll tell you what, that's okay.
Dunlap's quarterback, a senior.
Yep. That's okay.
Selfishly, that pains me.
That's okay.
But if this is Dunlap's last game, it never hurts to let him get one. It's go down with a touchdown.
I think they're going to get called for delay of game, yeah. Another sack for the Redbird defense. This time, 58. Hayden McCann. That's a nice play by the Redbird defensive player. Five 10, 240-pound senior. Nice job. Real nice job.
How many players on the Redbird defense have had a sack tonight?
Oh, boy. That's why we're going to name the starters the players of the game. .119 to go in the ball game. The Redbirds up 38-6. So technically, we can just take 3 knees and call it a night. That's the best play in football, the victory kneel.
Oh, yeah.
But I got to hand it to the Metamora offensive line today. They had tremendous. They made some holes for the. Some of those holes big enough. Our cameraman Tom Haken probably could have run through. Now they go into the end zone for a touchback, and the Redbirds will get it at the 20.
Scott, you're right. They're going to go ahead and do it.
And we'll have to do it one more time, I think.
Yep.
Metamora, former Metamora coach, talked about when he was in high school back in the late 70s, and they were winning a ball game, and that was back when the Journal Star would put down the leading rushers for the up to that point in the season, and this particular guy was hip and tuck with the leading rusher in the area, and he was a quarterback, and coach told him to take a knee, but he realized that was going to hurt his rushing average, so he refused to take a knee. So first down, he gets it, tries to go off tackle, and got hit, fumbled, and the other team ended up picking it up, scooping 4-1.
Oh my gosh!
So that'll do it from Dunlap High School. Redbirds will win 38-6. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the end of the game stats and a chat with a very, very happy head coach, Jared Redbird. Welcome back to Dunlap. We're here with Metamora head coach Jared Redbird. Coach, that's about as thorough of a football game as I've seen Metamora play all year.
I thought we played really well offensively and really well defensively. I thought our run fits were much better. One thing that was really impressive was I thought we got a lot of pressure on the quarterback tonight.
Yeah.
We were able to get to Burke, and and he scared me. You see him scrambling around versus Morton and stuff like that, and making plays with his legs. We had to make sure that we had to keep him contained, and I thought those guys did a really good job tonight. We had a couple miscommunications in the secondary. The thing is that pressure sometimes covered that up. And then offensively, we put together some nice drives. We put together some long drives, even in the fourth quarter again. And we were able to capitalize once we got down there. And so it was good to see.
The thing about when we play, and we talked about this with Coach Delinsky in the pregame, when you're presented the opportunity against Dunlap, and it's been this way with Dunlap the last 2 years, you have to capitalize. And whoever capitalized the most was going to win. And tonight, every time you got close and every time you had them on their heels, you scored. And you put all that pressure on them. And at one point, they just couldn't hold up to the pressure. And then, they were doing things they weren't comfortable doing.
One thing is, we wanted to kind of impose our will early and just kind of be really assertive, whether it was getting some pressure defensively, whether it was just offensively in the run game. And because they're always a well-coached team. They're never going to give you anything, whether it's offensively. They're always going to have some wrinkles to try and catch you by surprise. Defensively, they make you earn everything. We were able to get a couple big plays on them, but even then they, chased you down, and then they made you work for it inside the 10, and that's a very resilient group over there. You saw that against Morton last week when they were down 21-0 and came back and won. And so we knew that, hey, at halftime we're up 20-0. That couldn't take your foot off the pedal one bit, and you had to keep it on the gas, and because we know what type of kids they have over here on this Dunlap team.
Coach Ryan always talked about it. Years ago, he used to say it was important the last 4 minutes and the first 4 minutes, last 4 minutes of the first half, and the first 4 minutes of the second half. And I thought those 8 minutes, you dominated as much as humanly possible. You scored 3 touchdowns in those 3 minutes or 8 minutes, and you made them turn the ball over. I think they only had maybe 1 first down in that stretch.
Yeah, you kind of lose track sometimes in the middle of the game, but I thought we did finish the second half, and I thought we responded in the second half real well. We knew it was going to be big to come out and kind of set the tone early. That's why we kicked with the wind to start the third quarter. Some people might look at us like we're crazy because we didn't want it in the fourth, but we wanted to set the tone and kind of try and pin them deep right off the bat. And so we were able to do that. And then, our offense was able to capitalize, and you get a great pick six by Nate Bartman, and it kind of keeps the momentum going. And it was just a good night.
Well, Coach, we'll let you get going because I think buses are getting ready to leave, and we don't want them to leave without you.
Sometimes the kids might like it better that way.
But Coach, great game tonight. I thought you guys were incredibly physical. This is as physical as I've seen Metamora in a long time. This was fantastic. I thought your players played well. They responded. That week off maybe helped you guys a little bit. now you wait for the playoffs, and man, it's nice to go in 6-3 rather than 5-4.
It's always nice to get that sixth win. And we felt pretty confident that we had enough points that we were going to be in regardless. But getting number 6, it just takes a little bit of weight off your shoulders and stuff like that. So we'll see where IHSA puts us tomorrow. It'll be an exciting time. We've got a good JV game tomorrow with the boys, and so we got a fun Saturday of football.
Well, Coach, we'll let you get going here. Again, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
Central Illinois, you asked for it and we listened. Germantown Grill is growing to meet customer demand, adding more dining space and a private gaming area featuring games powered by Gold Rush, the gold standard in video gaming. And Germantown Grill still has all the food and spirits that keep our customers coming back. Stop by to check out our daily specials. The game's on at Germantown Grill, where Central Illinois loves to eat. Open 7 days a week, just off Route 116.
Welcome back to Dunlap. Final statistics for the game. First for Dunlap, 19 rushes for 3 yards. Passing, 8 for 17 for 52. They had a total of 55 yards of offense. Outstanding job by the Redbird defense. And we're going to name them the players of the game. We'll get more into that in the Jared Grebner Show on Sunday. But for Metamora, 41 rushes, 288 yards, 5 touchdowns. Passing, they were 4 for 5 for 67 yards for a total of 355 yards and 5 touchdowns. Great job by Metamora. We'll see you next week. We're not sure where. It'll be the first round of the playoffs. Once again, from Dunlap, Metamora wins 38-6. Scott Kirker thanking Tom Hagen and Ryan Vogel, along with Matt Nelson. We'll see you next week from wherever the IHSA sends us.